What is going on, everybody? It's time for Extreme Rules, not the actual show. This review. We're gonna talk about it, let you know what we thinking, and then y'all can let us know what you thinking, right? Because Extreme Rules 2015, exciting time. Woo! Feel the excitement? It's there. But we got Extreme Rules 2015. Definitely an exciting time. So we start off with Bad News Barrett versus Adrian Neville. I feel like every time they announce him, announce Neville as something different. Like as far as nickname wise, I feel like they're like just making more nicknames for him to like replace his first name that they got rid of. I don't know if you feel that way, but like since they got rid of his first name, they just add more nicknames onto the pile just so they can try to replace that first name. But anyway, we got Barrett basically overpowers Neville. Neville gets a roll up for two. Neville comes back with his speed. It's a nice springboard across the body. Barrett pulls down Neville, and the fight goes outside of the ring. Barrett grounds Neville for a bit here. Neville looks to come back, but Barrett is not having it, shuts that down. We get a nice backbreaker by Barrett for two. Neville hits his kicks. He hits a planche dive on Barrett. Um, we get a bridging German for two, that deadlift bridging German, which I love. The winds of change on Neville for a near fall. The wasteland is reversed. Neville takes advantage. Get the springboard, reverses to the wasteland for two by Wade Barrett. The bullhammer is reversed into an enziguri. Red arrow reversed by Barrett into a bullhammer attempt, but that's reversed. A round kick on Barrett. And the red arrow by Neville for the win. Adrian Neville, in his first pay-per-view match, beats Wade Barrett, the former Intercontinental Champion, who was just Intercontinental Champion at the last pay-per-view WrestleMania. So I don't know. I'm kind of. I thought Barrett would win just because it's Neville's first pay-per-view, or just because Barrett was in the title picture for the Intercontinental Championship. You would think. So I was thinking that Barrett was gonna actually win this match, but Neville won, and I thought it was a pretty good match too. These are two guys that kind of contrast their styles a little bit, and that Neville was really fast, and Barry is more of a power type of a guy, a little bit more of the brawler type of a guy. But I definitely like this match, and it was on the pre-show, so I think they're doing a really good job, especially recently with the pre-show matches, making them seem really good. So, any thoughts on Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett versus Adrian Neville?
I thought this was a great match. I felt like it should have been on the main card, but with some sort of stipulation. I felt like it needed some sort of stipulation, just the fact that it was on Extreme Rules. And even with it being last minute, they could have put some sort of, stipulation, something on it. But Michael Cole, the genius, that he is, makes the point to tell us that Barrett and Neville are both from England. Thank you, Captain Obvious. They didn't, they said that in their introduction where they're from. We know. And then Cole ruins everything. Every time he gets way overexcited for like a pin where he's like, "Oh my God, this could be the end." I know it's not, because he doesn't get as excited when the actual pin goes. So I'm like, oh, they're gonna kick out. Oh, it's gonna be a reversal. He just needs to calm down on that. But no, I really like this match, especially with it being Neville's first pay-per-view. I thought he did really well, especially against Bad News Barrett, who is really good in the ring too. I didn't expect him to win either. I thought Barrett was going to win. Just the fact that this was Neville's first, his pay-per-view debut, and the fact that Barrett was in the title picture. Maybe they're going to put Neville in the title picture now. Possibly, hopefully. Do it, WWE. But unfortunately, I don't know. Do you know what happened with Daniel Bryan? Why he couldn't?
I don't know. They just said he was medically unclear.
Yeah, I was confused because I didn't remember him getting injured at any show or anything. But that was kind of an upset because I wanted to see him on the show tonight. But we got a good match with Neville, which was cool. And it's kind of, I guess, in a good way, it's good that he couldn't compete because it did give Neville the chance to kind of debut on a pay-per-view, and get more people to see him. But yeah.
All right, and by the way, like we were saying, Daniel Bryan was injured, so that's why there was no Intercontinental Championship match, and that's where this match actually came from. So you said you want to take the Chicago street fight, so I'll let you take that. Go over the video package if you like as well. I thought it was kind of cool. I guess just the editing wise.
Do you want to do the? I don't remember the video package that much. You can go with that. What?
I mean, I don't remember exactly what it was. I just thought it was kind of cool.
All right. Well, there was a cool video package, and if you want to go see it, you can go see it on the network for just $9.99.
It's actually free, like right now, if you try to go.
Right now, if you're a new subscriber, it's free. If you're not, you still have to pay because WWE hates you. But anyway, in the beginning, I thought this was an okay match. We got a crazy suplex on a set-up chair by Harper on Ambrose, which just destroyed the chair. Oh, ow. I can't even imagine how that felt. Oh, God. The things that Ambrose does to his body, just ow. I felt like, it was a great match, but I don't think they used enough of a variety of weapons, especially with Ambrose. He's kind of that crazy, deranged. So, I remember back, late 2000s Attitude Era, for hardcore and street fights, they would bring like a shopping cart out with like, a stop sign, kendo sticks, a nightstick, a toilet seat cover, just crazy stuff. And I felt like that's something that Ambrose would do, just bring just crazy stuff out, which upset me a little bit. But I was super excited when they actually went in the backstage area because they never do that anymore. I was marking out so hard just for that little thing. I was like, yes. And then they're going fighting in the back. Luke Harper gets in a truck. I didn't even know he had his license. So apparently he can drive. Gets in the truck. He closes the door. Leaves the window open because you gotta get some air because it's hot apparently in Chicago. So he's warm. He's got to keep the window down, and Ambrose jumps in the window, and they drive off. They take a drive somewhere. They made a joke about JBL made a joke about this being like Axel being in a fight for 3 months. So because it was no count outs, false count. They didn't say false count anywhere, but no count out, nothing like that. So the match was still going on. They just drove away. So I was kind of excited. I kind of wanted them to keep, later on they did come back, but I kind of wanted them to keep it going like the whole night. Just have them randomly go off again and then come back and then go off again and come back. I thought that would have been funny. But the beginning of this match was really good. I liked it. I was just excited to see if they were going to bring a camera with them to have them somewhere in Chicago kind of fighting in a street somewhere or, but they unfortunately didn't do that. But good start to the match. I liked it. What did you think about part 1?
Yeah, I definitely liked it. I definitely agree with they should use more weapons, but I feel like with WWE, it's either chairs, and that's about it. Like chairs, a random table, maybe a kendo stick. Usually they just don't use anything but chairs anyway. So, I was like talking to Ryan, I was like, I bet you Casey is so excited that they went past the ramp. But the thing, I was like, people hate on TNA a lot, but with this new Destination America system the TNA has, they would have had a cameraman just playing in the back of that truck. They would just been chilling, just like showed up, like just recording it, like.
What they would have had is they would have had like a dash mounted camera,
But I know Ryan was like, they probably just went to get some dinner or something. They got hungry, just had to go, grab something to eat real quick. But yeah, that match resumed somewhere random in the city of Chicago. But then we go backstage with Triple H and Kane. He says, "I need you to find Harper and Ambrose. The two of you need to," and he's talking to Seth Rollins and Kane at this point. He says, "The two of you need to get on the same page." He says, "This is Seth's first defense on pay-per-view. We can't afford anything to go wrong here." Seth says, "Why did Kane throw me into a Roman Reigns spear?" Kane says, "It wasn't my fault." He said, "I was trying to protect you." Seth Rollins says, "You need to take responsibility." Triple H says, "Well, Seth has a point. Let's be fair here. I want to make sure that nothing goes wrong. I don't want to I don't want to regret making you the gatekeeper tonight." Kane says, "I will not let you down. I will do what's best for business." Any thoughts on the backstage segment with Kane and Triple H and Seth Rollins and J&J Security and RKO and Nowhere?
No, but I do want to make sure everyone did hear the boring chant at the end of it. So that was kind of a clue to WWE that we don't want to see backstage segments like this on a pay-per-view. This is a pay-per-view. You should have got all that crap figured out on Raw and SmackDown. I just felt like it was kind of pointless filler. It didn't really add anything to the storyline that hadn't already been added to the storyline.
Yeah, I agree. So next we got Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus in a Kiss My Arse match because it's PG. You got to say arse. So Ziggler starting with aggression. The fight goes outside. Sheamus takes control. Ziggler comes back in with a DDT. We get like a bro knee on Ziggler. The sit-down powerbomb by Sheamus for 2. He kind of starts to keep Ziggler down. Ziggler comes back with elbows. Sheamus shuts that down. We get the cloverleaf by Sheamus, which leads to the super kick by Ziggler. The bro kick gets reversed into a roll-up for a near fall by Ziggler. We get a roll-up off of a suplex attempt for 2 by Ziggler. Actually, I think that actually won the match because he won off of it was like a fisherman type of a roll-up. And then after the match, we had, Sheamus was trying to get out of this Kiss My Arse portion of the show. But he kind of refuses multiple times. He hits Ziggler with a low blow, get a bro kick. He says, "I will never kiss your arse, especially not in this town. I promise that you would kiss my arse." If I say that one more time, I would never want to disappoint. He basically rubs Ziggler's face on his butt as he pulls his trunks up a little bit, not where you can see it, because it's obviously PG, so they can't do a whole bunch of man things. But I don't know. It was interesting. I was like, are they really gonna do this type of a match? I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good match, but I don't know, the stipulation. It seems so Attitude Era a little bit for me, and that's like I think the first time I've ever been able to really say like so Attitude Era, but it was just really weird, and it was really weird for like the PG era too, like the way they had to like try their best to cover it up, but really couldn't. Any thoughts on the match? Not saying that anymore tonight.
Wait, what kind of match was it?
I can't.
I just wrote "kiss my ass" match because that's what it is. It's a kiss my ass match. What upset me is the fact that in the past couple months they've been saying things like bitch and hell and like some other non-PG words and things like that, but they still can't say ass. Like, come on. I know 5-year-olds who say ass. Come on, it's just ass. And even JoJo doing the introduction couldn't keep a straight face saying "kiss my arse." And I mean, I get it. I know that in the UK people do say arse instead of ass. It's just how they say it, which kind of makes sense. But it kind of makes it even more. Made it seem even more stupid than it was already as a stipulation. I didn't see the point of this stipulation at all. But I just felt like it was wasn't that great of a match either. It was okay. It just felt like it was just a really kind of gimmicky Raw match. Like if this happened to have been on my TV and I flipped through, I wouldn't think this was a pay-per-view match. I would have thought this was just, a gimmicky Raw match. There's nothing really special about it. Even for a Ziggler match, it wasn't. It was just kind of eh. But Ziggler wins. Sheamus goes. He does go over to the kind of the timekeepers area and demands that they, ring the bell again, saying it wasn't 3. It was only a 2 count. You saw JoJo and Eden were over there, so we got 2 announcers tonight. 2 of them. Yeah, his girl JoJo, whatever. But I felt like after the match there was too much build up to Sheamus actually kissing Ziggler's ass. Like you knew it wasn't going to happen just with all the build up. If they didn't have as much build up, it would have been a little bit more believable that he might do it. But you could tell he was just gonna, do a low blow and turn on and attack him. I don't know. I felt like this could have been a good match without the stupid stipulation. If they had made it a better stipulation, because Sheamus is that kind of, he just likes to fight kind of guy, and Ziggler can do any kind of match. He excels in any match, and just the fact that this was on Extreme Rules, they could have made like another some cool stipulation, like a Chicago, Belfast, whatever match. Just something, better than a kiss my ass match. It just, the only times they ever did kiss my ass matches was with Vince McMahon, which was probably Vince's idea, honestly. He's like, I have a great idea. Let's do a kiss my ass match. But it's just what they could have done with this match just upset me that they didn't do it. There was so much potential in this match, and it just kind of fell flat on its face, I felt like, which is unfortunate with 2 guys that are really talented, like Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler.
All right, so next it's a new day. Yes, it is. Got the New Day versus Tina Cesaro for the tag team titles. This is a very quick pace early on. Kid takes advantage though. We get a nice catching power slam by Cesaro. Quickly take Tyson Kidd outside. We get a middle of the senton by Tyson Kidd, which was really nice. It was like a suicide dive, but it was a senton as well. Big E kicks Tyson Kidd. We get freaking Xavier Woods was freaking out because they were chanting New Day suck, and he was like, "Why? We're winning!" It was so funny. I was like, I love Xavier Woods. I wish they would use him more. But they start the corner Tyson, but Tyson finally gets Cesaro in, and Cesaro uppercuts Kofi a lot, multiple times. We get a crossbody that's caught into a backbreaker by Cesaro. We get the deadlift, suplex, springboard, elbow combination by Kidd and Cesaro for 2. We get the sharpshooter reversal that gets Big E in. Big E hits a spear to the outside of the ring. It's kind of like a suicide dive spear, but there was a person in the way, which was nice. It was nice to see some athletic ability from a big man. We get the helpful big ending by the New Day for 2. Pandemonium starts to break out, but then after all is said and done, Kofi gets the roll up for the win to become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. So the New Day actually win the titles. So that, I mean, I think it's a cool thing. I don't know if I ever really expected the New Day to actually win the titles. I think it's weird to see Kofi Kingston with a championship after so long. I'm like, what? He can do that? That's possible? He can win the title? But definitely excited to see what they're going to do with the New Day, especially this kind of heelish New Day. I like it. Hopefully we'll see more of Xavier Woods, though, because he's my dude. Any thoughts on the New Day versus Tina Cesaro and our new tag team champion?
Again, no, special stipulation, which I guess is okay because it is a tag team title match. But they still could have done something for Extreme Rules. My big issues were I don't understand why they did give the New Day the titles. The fans aren't really behind them. They're not really. The fans are still not, catching on to the New Day. And even with them getting them the titles, that's not my big issue. My big issue is why is it Kofi and Big E? Why couldn't they wait till Woods gets better, gets healed with whatever? I guess his foot's still injured. He doesn't have the boot anymore, but he hasn't been in any matches really. But why did it not wait and have Kofi and Xavier Woods as tag team champions? I feel like they would be a better team together. Kind of similar to back with the Shield. I felt like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins would have been a better team, than Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. It just didn't seem right to me. And I just don't think we did see a little bit more athleticism from Big E with the dive and everything, but I don't think he's good enough in the ring to really be tag team champions, especially the fact that he does have Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, who are really good in the ring, in a team with him. But we'll see what happens. And it doesn't seem like it, but Cesaro and Kid did have the titles for a while, for a couple months there. So it just seemed like they didn't have them that long. So I was like, it just confused me that the New Day won the titles tonight. It didn't seem like that was going to happen. I wouldn't have predicted it anyway. But I guess that's WWE trying to surprise us like they usually don't.
All right. Go ahead and take the next part because it runs in the second part of your match.
All right. So, the New Day they get an interview backstage, talking about winning the titles, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, New Day, blah, blah, new champs, whatever. Shut up. All of a sudden, truck comes screeching up. And who is it? Ambrose and Harper. They're back. They kind of they eventually get back to the ring. They threw in from my count, they threw in 12 chairs into the ring. Because you have to have an incredible amount of chairs under a wrestling ring. It's a general rule. You have to have an obscene amount of chairs under a wrestling ring. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. You just have to. Harper covers Ambrose with chairs and goes to the top rope, but Ambrose gets out from under the chairs and throws Harper onto the chairs. He does get the win, so Ambrose wins. I get, like I said before, I wanted to see them. I didn't want it to end there. I wanted to see them, continue to fight, through the crowd, and then disappear somewhere again a little bit later, just to kind of fill up some of the spots in the show that felt a little bit dead. It would have been cool to have that, and it just would have been more unique. This was already unique, having them kind of leave and then continue the match later on. But it was a good match. I'm excited to see what they do with Ambrose. Since they're not going to give him a title, I guess, anytime ever again. He was in the running, is in the title picture for the, U.S. title, and then he was in the picture for the Intercontinental title, and then I don't know. But I'm excited to see if they continue his feud with Harper, or if this is ending that feud and starting something new.
This, I like this because it was something different, something you don't see all the time in wrestling, where you have a street fight, it goes somewhere else, and you don't get to see that somewhere else, and then they just come back. I like that. One thing though, when Ambrose and Harper were throwing in chairs, Harper was throwing in his chairs way too hard, because like there were a couple of them that just fell out of the ring because he was throwing them so hard. But I definitely thought it was a good way to end it. I agree with you though. I think they should have did a little bit more with it.
Yeah.
But next we got a video package on Cena versus Rusev. You got any thoughts on it? Video man.
Why are we doing this again?
All right, and then next week the match, Rusev versus John Cena for the U.S. title, in a Russian chain match. We get the tug of war to start the match. Rusev hits the splash, kind of taking advantage of John Cena. Rusev with big kicks to Cena outside, but Rusev gets pulled into the steel post. We get a spinning heel kick, and Rusev starts beating Cena down with the chain. Cena pulls Rusev off of the turnbuckle. We get a super kick that gives Rusev a chance. Lana comes out and she's kind of like, pandering to the fans a little bit, but Rusev does not want Lana out there. The referee didn't throw Lana out. Rusev threw Lana out. Threw Lana out. Cena comes back with a 5-knuckle shuffle and things of that nature. Accolade attempt is reversed into probably the greatest Cena STF I've seen in probably all of my life. It was actually pretty good this time. Maybe it was because of the chain. They need to just strap a chain to him every time, and maybe he'll do a good STF. We get the super kick and the accolade on Cena. Cena breaks out, but as he backs into the corners, it actually counts as Rusev touching the corner. So Rusev has 3 lights on, and then Rusev tries to go for the other one, but Cena hits an AA. Cena and Rusev touch opposite corners. They kind of battle for the opposite corners. They both have 3 lights, and they're both trying to go for the last one. But Cena pulls Rusev in to hit an AA, and Cena hits the last one to win. The confusing part about that to me, though, and this is not because I'm a Rusev fan, this is just because of the rules of the match. The rules of the match say that you can't stop your forward momentum, or the lights start back over again. But for Cena to pull Rusev in for an AA, he would have to stop to pick him up, and he did stop to pick him up. So the light should have at least started over. Even if he just went back around and touched all 4 of them again, it should have at least started over. But no, we can't have that because it's Rusev. It's Cena. So John Cena wins, but he cheated, and Rusev hinted at that later. But you got any thoughts on John Cena versus Rusev? And I also, one more thing, don't understand why they're doing this, because we know who's going to win. And then I'll get to even more of this later on when we get the next match in the series. Any thoughts on this, though?
Oh, God. Michael Cole basically explains that it's the rules of a Russian chain match, if you don't know, which it's basically a bull rope match, which is why I don't like it, because I don't I never really liked bull rope matches. They were kind of always kind of boring to me. You know, they talked about JBL's bull rope match with Eddie Guerrero a while back, which that was one of the few that I liked because you know Eddie Guerrero was in it and it was a pretty good match. But you know, they, like you said, they start off with the typical stupid tug of war spot, which I feel like they always do in any match like this. Um, I was kind of bored with this match, just because it was a, you know, bull rope match basically. There's not too much you can do, innovative, I guess. As soon as Rusev sent Lana to the back, I was kind of pissed because I was like, "Yep, Cena's gonna take advantage of Lana not being out there, and he's gonna win." I think I think a match like this, with guys like Cena and Rusev, are kind of dull, just because matches like this in general are just repetitive over and over. You know, it gets reset, so you have to go around and touch the turnbuckles again. It gets reset, you have to go around again. It's just really repetitive. And then to add the fact that both of these guys, to an extent, kind of have a limited moveset anyway. So it just kind of made it not as exciting for me. You know, if you had some guys with, you know, more of a move set, it could have been a little bit more exciting to me. And I'm not putting anything specifically against, you know, John Cena. I feel like Rusev kind of has a limited move set too. But anyway, I was kind of upset that Cena won because of the fact that he did stop forward momentum, so he should have had to start over again. But no, he's Super Cena, so he can't lose. But, you know, and then we find out later on that my nightmare is continuing because they can't just let it go. Sorry, I got angry at it.
Also, comment on the STF. I thought it was actually pretty good for once in my life. No credit given to Cena ever from Casey. Casey does not care.
No, to his credit, I said it wasn't just him; it was the match in general, and the fact that they both have kind of limited moveset. So it's not, you know, it's not him all in this match. It's just how the match is set up. And like I said, matches like this just kind of bore me because it's so repetitive over and over again. You know, oh, the lights are reset. We have to go around again. And it's just, I don't know. There was a point where Rusev was on the top rope and Cena pulled him off with the chain. I thought that was kind of cool. But I feel like it's just a limited match with what you can do, being attached to each other by a chain. And just the fact that it is PG era, so you can't do anything too extreme with the chain, like make them bleed or anything like that, which kind of takes a little bit away from it too.
Yeah, I agree. So next we got a Roman Reigns interview. They asked him about his strategy. Reigns says, "I think I've proved that you can knock me down, but you can't keep me down. But I've been hit with a KO punch. I've been chokeslammed on top of a tab." He says, "But I'm gonna get back up and be the last man standing." Any thoughts on Roman Reigns in his interview?
I don't like his interviews. I'm sure he's a bad guy, but he kind of creeps me out because he's like tries to be all like suave and have that swagger, and especially when he's being interviewed by like one of the girls, it creeps me out because I'm like, dude, stop hitting on her. I think you're married. Stop it. You have a daughter. Stop it. It's just creepy. But you know, it just got you kind of pumped for the match that I wasn't too excited about because I felt like there wasn't too much build up to this match. There kind of was, but it was like, you know, he was in the title picture, and then, you know, he got screwed out of the title by, you know, Seth Rollins, which I felt like he should have been in a match with Seth Rollins then, but no, they're going to put him in a match with Big Show. And why? It just kind of didn't make sense to me. You know, they tried to build it up, but I felt like they didn't build it up enough for me to really want to see this match.
Well, next we got a Divas match. We got Nikki Bella versus Naomi for the Divas Championship. We got a new music and a new gimmick for Naomi, which I think is kind of cool because the Brodus Clay, that's about all I can put it as. Like the Brodus Clay Funkasaurus that she's been rocking with for like years, you know, it's getting old anyway. So, but Naomi tries to play mind games. And Nikki tries to kind of get it going, but she gets shut down. Nikki tries to roll up, but Naomi kicks out. Get pulled up onto the second turnbuckle by Naomi. Naomi kicks Brie away, and she tries to get involved, or she actually tries to help her sister outside of the ring. Nikki comes back with the kicks, with an Alabama slam for 2, with a split leg moonsault, reversed into a face smash onto the knee by Nikki Bella for 2. We get the rack attack, but that's reversed into a bubble bomb for a near fall. Springboard round kick for 2. Brie hits a round kick as the referee's back is turned, and then we get a rack attack on Naomi for the win. The thing that confused me about this match, I thought it was a pretty good match, but the thing that was confusing me was the fact that Naomi was acting very heelish, but then Nikki wins in a heelish way. So I was like, wait, which one am I supposed to be actually cheering for? But I mean, I thought it was. I want to see more of Naomi because I feel like we see Naomi and looks like she's getting good, and then like they just like rip her away, and it's weird. And I especially want to see what they're gonna do with this new gimmick because basically it was just her in all black with these ridiculous shoes, dancing around. So, you got any thoughts on the Divas Championship match? Nikki Bella is still the champ.
I like the new kind of gimmick for Naomi, a little bit darker, you know, which again, kind of same as Nikki, kind of confuses me because her husband is super face, and for her to be, it's just weird. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this, and WWE doesn't think that into things. But this was a really good match, and even if it wasn't, they actually found a way to keep our attention in Divas matches. Light up, color-changing shoes. Yes, they figured it out. Which they kind of made me a little bit too distracted. I was watching them change colors, and I was like, oh wait, no, there's a match going on. I have to watch. But it was a really good match. Nikki still kind of sucks at selling certain moves. Like there was a kick from Naomi when she was in the ropes that didn't even hit Nikki, but she still sold it like it hit, but even though you could clearly see it didn't even touch her. So just things like that. And I'm still waiting for Brie to turn on Nikki for all the things in the past that happened, and I think that's distracting me from their matches a little bit, just waiting for that to happen, which, I mean, WWE may never do. And I still don't know if the Bellas are re-signing or if they are leaving or what's really going on with that. So it's kind of, I need, definitive, an answer if the Bellas are staying or if they're leaving for me to kind of really care too much about Nikki being champion or, the Bellas. But I kind of wanted to see Naomi win because I feel like, she'd be a really good Divas champion and kind of bring a little bit more, people interested in the Divas division. Even though it's not going to get too many people just being called the Divas division and having, I think they still just need to go back to the women's division. you know. But obviously we'll probably see something about this tomorrow on Raw, and hopefully we'll get another match, like a rematch with Nikki and Naomi, because it was a good match, and hopefully we'll see Naomi finally win the title, get a new Divas champion, a new Divas champion, I should say.
All right, so next week we're backstage with Rusev. He is not happy with Lana. She walked away sadly, but she ends up knocking on the door of the Authority. So it puts some intrigue. Is Rusev joining the Authority at this point, or what's going on? What are they trying to do? And then we get a video package on Roman Reigns and Big Show. Any thoughts on any of those things?
First off, when the camera came in on Rusev yelling at Lana, I was like, dude, you need to calm down. Quit yelling at her. Just because people like her more than you just need to be more of a people person. Be nicer, not be so uptight all the time. And then when she went into the Authority's office, I was like, it would be kind of cool for him to join the Authority, I guess. But then I was like, oh, nope, they're probably setting something up again with John Cena. Maybe, the Authority attacking Cena or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know. I was kind of, But, and as for the video package for, the last man standing match, I wasn't really into it. Wasn't too excited about the match to begin with. So just the fact that Big Show is kind of, I feel like he's too irrelevant at this point to really care about his matches that much. I feel like it's not doing anything for Roman Reigns to be in a match with him. Even comedy wise, like I used to love Big Show because he was funny, and now it's just kind of he's just there. But
all right, so next we get Big Show versus Roman Reigns in that last man standing match. Big Show overpowers Reigns early, but Reigns starts to come back. Show pushes him down again. We get kind of that back and forth. I won't die attitude from Reigns. Reigns takes a fight outside. He grabs the table. Big Show is not having it with this table. He tries to slide it back in, but fails miserably. Probably one of the worst fails I have seen sliding a table back under the ring ever. It was just sticking out in the bottom of the ring. But Reigns gets it back out. Big Show ends up breaking the table with his hands to get kendo stick shots by Roman Reigns. Big Show breaks the kendo stick. There will be no weapons at this Extreme Rules pay-per-view. No. Per the Authority. They're letting you know. We get a catching shot by Big Show. Roman Reigns with more chair shots and then a DDT on the chair. We get the KO punch on Roman Reigns. We get a choke slam reversed into a Samoan drop through the table. Big Show hits a spear on Reigns. Big Show starts to go up top. At this point, there's two tables that are set up side by side out on the outside of the ring. Reigns throws Big Show off of the top turnbuckle. Reigns is looking for a Superman punch, the third Superman punch in succession, but it reverses to a chokeslam outside of the ring through two tables. I think Roman Reigns got up at about 9 at this point. Big Show moves the steel steps beside the announce table, which obviously means he's going to have to use it eventually, right? Big Show runs through the table that's set up in the corner, and then we get a spear on Big Show. We get a spear through the barricade. We get a choke slam that's reversed. Show pushes Reigns off. Reigns uses the steps to spear Big Show off of the normal announce table through the Spanish announce table. And Big Show gets up at around, I think it was either 7 or 8, I think it was. And then Reigns, he's still struggling to get up. Reigns just traps Big Show under the table, stands on top of the table to win the match. So Roman Reigns wins the last man standing match via standing on top of the announce table. And I was thinking they're not going to be able to flip the announce table over again because, that's what happens. When you flip it over, just over. It's done. You're just standing up for the rest of the night. But any thoughts on the last man standing match?
Like I said, I wasn't too excited, but as the match went on, about the point where Reigns spears Big Show through the barricade, that's when I kind of like, oh, this is turning into a pretty awesome match. Then we did get the spear through the announce table, which was painful. Especially the fact that they didn't even take the cover off. They didn't take the monitors off. So all that was there, ow. That had to hurt. And then, Reigns he did cheat. I'm going to admit it. He cheated. He lifted the announce table and put it on Big Show. That's cheating. That is like John Cena burying Bray Wyatt to win a last minute. He basically just Cena'd it, So I'm calling a protest, even though I, wanted Reigns to win anyway. I'm still calling a protest, just fairness. Hopefully they don't continue this feud because I want to see Reigns in a feud with somebody else. Like I said, I wanted to see him in a feud with Rollins because that would make more sense. Rollins did kind of screw him out of the title. So that would have made more sense to me than having him face Big Show and then Rollins face Randy Orton, or have a triple threat match with Orton, Reigns, and Rollins. But we'll see what happens. I guess we'll find out tomorrow if they're continuing this feud or if they're going to change it up.
All right, so next we got Kane's backstage with Orton. Orton says, listen, we've known each other for over a decade. You traded your mask for a suit and joined the Authority. He says, when they're done with you, they're just going to throw you out like garbage. He says, I know who you are, Kane, even if you've forgotten. So basically, they're just kind of teasing that Kane's going to turn on the Authority tonight. And then after that, we get a Bo Dallas promo, which I didn't write down much about. I enjoyed it, but I didn't write down much about it. Ryback basically comes out and attacks Bo Dallas. Spinebuster hits a meat hook, hits shell shock. And there we go. So any thoughts on those two things?
I can't believe you didn't write anything about Bo Dallas. He is your boy.
He is. I just didn't get a chance to write down the actual promo because I was watching it in the living room. So
don't even care about your boy anymore. But no, I just felt like that was just a little bit more filler, which I don't like when they just put filler in shows. I feel like they should extend the matches or add more matches than to add just kind of filler stuff like that. It was cool to see Bo Dallas because we don't really see him that much anymore, and it was cool to see Ryback, but it didn't necessarily start a feud or start a storyline or continue a storyline. It was just basically just filler. Yeah,
maybe they will start a feud with Bo Dallas and Ryback or something. Like I just feel like they're just bouncing Bo Dallas around for someone to beat up, which is weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, CJ Parker's gone, so somebody has to do it.
and Ryan said he doesn't like the Bo T.
He looks. It throws me off because he's still that nice guy who's like, Bo, leave, and then the goatee makes him look kind of like dark and like I can see him being a heel with the goatee, and it confuses me because you can't have both. You can't be both.
Right, so next we get a Rusev interview, and he says John Cena did not beat me. Lana comes back and she says the final chapter of Rusev versus Cena will be a payback. It will be an I Quit match, and Rusev says at payback, John Cena will quit. Um, yeah. So we're gonna get an I Quit match at payback, and John Cena can't quit. It's impossible. It's not gonna happen. We cut both his feet off his hand. You can rip his heart open and lick it, and he still wouldn't quit. It's just not gonna happen. Anyway, it's just not gonna happen. He's not gonna quit. You got any thoughts?
Why would you lick the man's heart? What is wrong with you? Oh, what?
To make him quit, man. To make him quit. You gotta lick his heart.
I didn't know that was a way to make somebody quit. Okay. I don't know. This just upset me because we're gonna see another Rusev John Cena match. This is number 3. Now we're gonna see number 4. Why? Just they need to change Rusev's gimmick and put him in something better than This is really all they can do with him now. The big bad Russian versus Captain America John Cena. That's really all. That's where they're stuck right now, I feel like. So we're gonna get another match. Hopefully it'll be the last one at Payback. But you never know. They could say, "Oh, we're gonna do it again." But that's just one match that I'm not gonna really be excited for, because just the fact that it is an I Quit match and it is John Cena, and John Cena doesn't quit, so it's
All right. So next we get a video package on Raw versus Orton. Video package. I think you don't have any thoughts. And then we have Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton in a cage match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Rollins basically tries to get out multiple times in his matches. He's trying to leave out off of everything. Like Orton would catapult him, and he would still try to get out. Rollins was kind of messing with Kane in this match a little bit, but that gave Orton a chance to come back. He got the jumping knee in this match, which was nice. Basically, J&J Security tried to get involved, but Kane wasn't having it through the door at least. And then Randy Orton made sure they couldn't climb the cage as well. Kane shuts the door. Like Kane basically is the doorkeeper or the gatekeeper, I think they call him. Rollins is looking to escape through the door, but Orton also tries to go through the door as he knocks Rollins down. Kane shuts the door on Randy Orton, or he doesn't shut the door on Randy Orton, he just shuts the door so Orton can't get out. Rollins accidentally, it looks like, drop kicks the door into Kane. Rollins tries to leave, but Orton catches him. They're both kind of stuck in the door, and Kane then shuts the door on both of them. Kane goes into the ring. He's not happy. He does a chokeslam on J&J Security, and then he also chokeslams Orton. Rollins tries to crawl through the door, but Kane grabs him and chokeslams him. He flips Rollins' arm over Orton for 2. We get an RKO on Kane. Rollins comes back and he hits an RKO on Orton. And then he crawls out of the ring to win, or crawls out of the cage to win and retain the World Heavyweight Championship. So, any thoughts on the main event of the evening?
I was kind of going back and forth in my head on this match, just trying to figure out, predict what would happen. Because, I felt like if the title wasn't on the line, I was thinking Kane would turn on Rollins and the Authority, or the Authority would turn on Rollins just after all the kind of crap they've had to deal with him. I felt like they're finally getting fed up with him to the point where it's inevitable that somebody is going to turn on somebody. But I didn't think that they would make him lose the title this soon. a month after winning it. I thought this was a good match, though. I was just kind of waiting for something to happen because it seemed too smooth of a match, especially the fact that J&J Security didn't come out with Rollins and they weren't out at ringside initially. I was just waiting for, somebody to, climb in the ring or something with the Authority kind of, cheating Orton out of the win. But, Seth Rollins wins by using the RKO, which I agree with King on this. The RKO was banned, and I felt like that would mean in general, not just banned from Randy Orton, just banned in general. And the fact that Seth Rollins used it to win, I felt like that should have been, disqualification or automatic loss or something like that. Hopefully they'll kind of, point that out to on Raw, because they never specifically said it was banned just for Randy Orton. It said the RKO is banned, but it was a good match though. I didn't like in the beginning when they set the stipulation for a steel cage match. I thought it should have been a Hell in a Cell match because then, nobody can really get in, in a steel cage match, anybody can climb over and still get in. I was like, there's that big gap on the roof. Like, hello. It just didn't make sense. So if you're trying to keep people out, why wouldn't you do a Hell in a Cell match? And plus, we haven't really seen a Hell in a Cell match in a while. It doesn't feel like.
Yeah, I was surprised they didn't do Hell in a Cell. I was like, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
There you go. Too much going on. Extreme Rules 2015. I thought it was overall a pretty good show. But I don't know. I kind of agree with you on the stipulations thing. Some matches didn't have stipulations, which was weird. I do think this pay-per-view needs to be revamped though, because it just doesn't make sense anymore to be Extreme Rules. The ECW brand has been gone for a while. As far as the rebranded ECW brand, they don't even do Extreme Rules matches anymore. So what's the use of even having the name? I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that they change this pay-per-view up a little bit and do something different with it, or maybe change it back to an older pay-per-view or something like that. Before I forget, let me shout out new subscribers. We got Bodmo and LB Clash of Kings with the feud because he had subscribed like a long time ago, so I was kind of confused. But hope you guys enjoyed. Casey, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I thought it was in general was a good show. Looking at the card before, I was kind of like, this show is gonna kind of suck, but it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. I do think that they need to revamp it. And I feel like a lot of the pay-per-views in general, they need to revamp. And I just don't want them to turn them into stupid shows, kind of like Fastlane. I felt like wasn't a real good name for a pay-per-view. Or like you said, just bring back some of the old pay-per-views that everyone loves. But it just doesn't make sense. A lot of the pay-per-views don't make sense anymore. Extreme Rules, there's no Extreme Rules matches anymore. ECW's gone. Hell in a Cell, they maybe have one Hell in a Cell match on the show. TLC, they have one TLC match on the show. It just doesn't make sense. They need to bring shows like I was saying earlier. I think I was messaging DJ saying, instead of they're doing on the network King of the Ring, it starts Tuesday and then the finals are on Friday. But I feel like they should just bring that back as a pay-per-view. I always loved King of the Ring as a pay-per-view. I just like the setup of it, how it was, round one and then round two and then the finals, all in one night, so it kind of, so guys really would have to go through like 3 matches to win King of the Ring. It wasn't just one match and then you're done for the night, which was kind of cool. And it would really show the toughness of the competitors in the ring. Anybody can just do one match and then have the rest of the night off. It's, having to do one match and then have another match and another match, so just to have something like that, I think would, get us more excited about pay-per-views, or special events as they're called now. They're not pay-per-views anymore, apparently. But in general, this was a pretty good show. I felt like it wasn't a real good follow-up for WrestleMania in general, necessarily, just because WrestleMania is such a big show, kind of to follow it up, I feel like needs to be a really good show. And this was just okay to me. But yeah.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your comments about Extreme Rules if you think it was good. How you feel about it. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you guys later. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because that's always a good thing. Follow us on Twitter. And we'll see you guys later.